Today was supposed to be a day of celebration, as the hard work of the viewers on this channel have taken us over 100,000 subscribers, and I sincerely thank you. I had planned on doing a live stream to celebrate, but made the decision to call that off so I could cover one of the most despicable hit pieces I've ever seen. A few of you, most notably Rags, friend of the channel, fellow YouTuber, let me know about this trash piece that Forbes put out on TotalBiscuit, his legacy, and of course, more Gamergate, more Russian bots and Trump, and all that stuff. And I'll leave a link to the archive of this in the description below, because I am not going to reward this website with traffic based on this disgusting, low-class, low-IQ article. I can guarantee you that this video will be likely to get more views than Forbes. Okay, 57,792. Let's share this around. Let's show Forbes just how fucking small and pathetic they are. TotalBiscuit's legacy and the collateral damage of Gamergate. Written by Fruzina Erdo. Let's see the type of high-quality articles Fruzina has been writing. Let's see. Okay, TotalBiscuit's legacy. Let's see. Melina's troll jacket would only be acceptable if... Look at that. 11,000 views. 11,000 views. She must be a hard-hitting reporter. A critique of Philip DeFranco's new set. 493 views. Now, I don't know about you. I'm not one of those people that thinks you have to have played a professional sport to be able to critique it. But I am one of those people that says clearly you don't know what you're talking about because you cannot reproduce it at all for yourself. Student LGBTQ TLMNOP YouTube project angers litigious religious group. 5,000 views. The latest YouTube versus community controversy and entitlement. 700 views. Well, okay, so I think we know what this person might be all about. Let's check their Twitter. Sift through internet trash, YouTube cache. Writes for Forbes, Motherboard, Guardian, CSM Passcode, Daily Dot, Video in News. Putting about every possible site in there to get that hilarious verified check of insanity with a whopping 3,400 followers. Have I indicated to you, the viewer, how annoyed I am right now? Have I properly framed my anger? Let's see what early responses to the article, and then we're going to just go through a few pieces of it. Whether you agreed with him or not, attacking him when he can no longer defend himself or soon after his passing is tacky. As you mentioned in your article that his wife could see the tweets celebrating his death, but you know she can see your article too, right? Jenna has seen it, lamented it, and indirectly called it out because Fruzina lacks the moral high ground and air of superiority she thinks she possesses in the article she wrote. She didn't even consider that she was being a hypocrite here. She made it clear in the article that she doesn't give a damn about Jenna, but wanted the sympathy points before she attacked her for not apologizing for things that TB did that she didn't agree with. How convenient was it to publish this after his passing? What a shocker. His mourning widow wasn't available for comments. This is a horribly and uninformed hit piece you're trying to pass off as more journalism. Amazing you want this on your platform, Forbes. Now, I've been on record saying that I truly believe that these dying media sites like Forbes and New York Times and things like that, Colt can sense I'm angry and he's trying to cheer me up. It's okay, Colt. Go sit by your buddy Indy. Blop. Oof. I think they write articles to get people angry and then fill in the blanks afterwards. I can't possibly fathom somebody being this dumb and out of touch. But then you read the article and you start to think, wow, this is real. This is a real article, but written by somebody who totally believes it. We start with it doesn't take more than a paragraph to tell that this hack is pushing a narrative. The late YouTube legend known as John TotalBiscuit Bain would have turned 34 on Sunday had he not lost his struggle to bowel cancer about a month ago. Instead of happy birthdays and tributes to his decade-plus career in the video game industry, however, his name is currently being evoked with the firing of 2 game developers and associated with mob harassment. His critics call it fitting that this is Bain's legacy, but many of his fans, some of whom have grown up with him, are wondering why some internet drama from 2014 is still relevant in 2018. Why? Because it gets you clicks. That's all that's all I can say. To progressives and what constitutes as mainstream internet, get fucked. Bain was the man who legitimized Gamergate, the 2014 harassment campaign turned consumer revolt. Notice how she frames this. Notice how she frames it, and you will know everything. This second sentence tells you everything about how vapid and disingenuous this journalist is. Esports consultant and journalist Rod Slasher Breslau, a close friend, disputed that characterization of Bain in a phone interview. Breslau is wrong. Oh, okay, well, since you say he's wrong, the guy knew him, you never knew him, you're just using his article to, his name to defame him and push your agenda, but I'm sure his longtime friend is wrong. As wrong as Breslau is, so are the critics maligning TB as a supremacist and abuser whose death should have be celebrated immediately in the space his widow can see. Yeah, but you're writing this article. You wrote this article, you idiot. You're wrong, but I'm not wrong. Anyone else shocked this hack has that attitude? So angry. So angry. Okay. Unfortunately for Bain, his star power, white male privilege, and massive fan base of more than 1 million could never change the narrative to the issue he wanted to discuss. Further, this mistake would eternally brand him as the face of a troll movement whose main claim to fame was making headlines for privacy breaches, hacking, and various other online crimes, including harassing women out of their homes with threats of violence. That whole sentence is fucking wrong. Nobody outside of the shill media views John Bain that way. Most people, like myself, who was a fan of TotalBiscuit for his video game reviews and his consumer advocacy, will never see him as anything but that. Bitch. Only you shills who want to push some crazy ultra far left ideology, the same people that believe in white male privilege. How the fuck did his white male privilege help him beating cancer? Exactly. Oh, how many crimes was Gamergate, pro Gamergate people convicted of? Oh, wait, the FBI absolved them of breaking any crimes. Bain entered the conversation. He immediately legitimized the ethics in video game journalism. It was because of his area expertise, blah, blah, blah. Before we go any further into Gamergate, a handful of Bain's greatest hits that the bulk of the video game community and youth of YouTube will remember him for. We don't need to go through that. In 2017, he caused controversy when he stuck up for a journalist from Kotaku, an outlet Bain vocally hated, when the writer was asked a transphobic troll question at a convention. This incident ultimately lost him subscribers that was seen as a way to atone for some dumb comments he made for years prior, like misgendering on accident, in quotations, and other statements that the LGBTQ LMNOP community called transphobic. Bain would never do this purposely, said Breslau, and he was always willing to admit if things were fucked up. The majority of the LGBTQ gamer community on Twitter feels otherwise. No, the thing is, who gives a shit about Twitter? Twitter is such a tiny portion. I would never even have used Twitter if I didn't need it to promote these channels. And of course, let's see. Anita Snarkeesian trying to frame that joke tweet as otherwise blah blah blah, white male tears. A doxer, a swatter, hacker, a troll, a bigot, or a serial harasser. He was not. Breslau, who is also adamant that he and Bain believe Sarkeesian's threats as real, not standing by Bain's uninformed comments about the matter made in 2014. Sarkeesian was mentioned by Bain quite a few times over the years, not just because dunking on feminists is popular and easy. It's an easy way to get internet points. Part of why Bain criticized Sarkeesian often had to do with her being viewed as somewhat of an equal or rival. Sarkeesian was perceived to be the biggest name on the issue. There were no other feminists and video gamers anywhere near her star power. Yeah, who cares about her? Nobody cares about her. Now she's a dead meme. Her channel has 250,000 subscribers and she can't even get 5,000 views. Why would anyone care about her? If TotalBiscuit was still around, his videos would still be getting millions of views. That tells you who was right. His videos now still get more views than she does. And of course they link this. Streamer and video essayist T1J. Are you kidding? Broke down some of the, quote, fake news and out-of-control hate slung Sarkeesian's way, and shared a related personal revelation in a 4-minute embedded video here. I'm sure that supports your narrative, Frusina. It was only in recent years that Bain began to, quote, gain more perspective and consider the responsibility that came with his YouTube and Twitch fame. Fuck that. This is, again, what is this? You are popular, so therefore you are responsible for what your followers do. I can tell you all day long to not look up Frusina on Twitter and tell her she's a hack. But if you go and do it, it isn't because I told you to or because I told you not to. It's because you made your own individual decision to do that. I don't have any power over you. If I ask you to do something like tweet this video out or share it and you choose to do so, you're not mindlessly doing it. You're considering my request, whether or not you find it worthy of your time, and then you're doing it or you're not doing it. The reason Gamergate will forever be characterized as a sexist movement, nobody characterizes that outside of about 2,000 far-left ideologues, and not a genuine ethics and video game journalism crusade, despite long-standing shadiness in the video game-related media, and Bain's efforts is precisely because the ethics issue flew under the radar for many years until it involved women, until it was outed, right? Until it was publicly outed, people cared. If there were tons of similar cases outed online involving men, can you link to them? Who happen to be feminist, being accused of sexual misconduct by an angry ex, no less. It's the actions of the mob engaging in a sexist agenda that made the headlines, not that the developer slept with someone. That's not news. Are you crazy? There were millions of YouTube views on videos of people discussing that. How about the false copyright claims? How about these fake threats that people were getting? None of that had to do with anything, but tons of people were interested in it. It was interesting for a lot of reasons, not just because some hoe slept with some dude. Nobody cares. Honestly, I would have hoped that guy had higher standards. While Gamergate faded away and lost relevancy, well, then why are you evoking it with a 7,000-word article? Except some progressive social media bubbles and white supremacists. What are you writing? Then you are in a progressive social media bubble then, Frusina. To take this post on a prominent college student-run publication where a young author mistakes the start of Gamergate to 5 years ago, not 4, as a prime exhibit. Okay. One of the most important things to Bane, according to Breslau, was his reputation and that his audience trusted him, making it all the more tragic if Bane is remembered more for sharing fake news and inadvertently legitimizing a harassment campaign. Clearly, Bane didn't do enough to atone for his perceived Gamergate sins, and if there was a lesson from all of this, it's that one must make peace and settle any internet beef you have with feminists while you're still living. History is written by victors, after all. Are you fucking kidding me? That last paragraph is enough to make my piss boil. First of all, you didn't win shit. My video on random dude in his basement is going to get more traction than your shit-ass hit piece. Where you have this air that you talk about John Bane like you knew the guy. You didn't know him. I didn't know him. But I don't talk like I know him. The millions of people that were John Bane, TotalBiscuit's fans will remember him for sticking up for video gamers, not for his mistakes along the way. Everyone makes mistakes. You, Fruzina, no one's going to remember you after 24 hours, while John Bane's legacy will carry on forever.